The strongest experience in which good supernatural entities have manifested in my life was when I was about 14 years old. I was locked in my room with the laptop writing a book. I was very concentrated and inspired, when suddenly, near me, literally 4 humanoid figures physically manifested themselves. They were as bright as the sun, but they didn't hurt my eyesight. They were tall. They seemed to be made of golden light. Instantly, their presence flooded my entire room with a lot of tranquility and love, which prevented me from being scared. But even so, I was extremely surprised by what I was seeing. One of them was standing in front of me, another was standing in a corner, and the 2 were sitting on my bed. Of those who were sitting on my bed, ineffably, I knew that one of them was the most important of the rest. His presence flashed what I can describe as sparks of diamonds, which the others did not do. It was an extremely impressive sight. It was beautiful, very powerful. I have never seen anything like that before, and it has never been repeated so powerfully in my life. I could not speak. I was paralyzed, hypnotized, blinded by the majesty of him. It was so beautiful, something really beautiful and impressive, far beyond all human imagination. All that lasted almost 2 minutes. 2 eternal minutes. The seconds seemed endless. It was as if each of those seconds lasted 1,000 years. Time really passed very slowly, but at the same time fast. It's difficult to explain. And never, ever has repeated again. I think the only time I saw one of those in a very physical way was years ago in the bathrooms of a gay club where I went with a neighbor. I went to the bathroom to relieve myself, and there was no one when I entered there. The lighting was mostly reddish. I urinated on the migratory, and literally, when I finished and turned back on me, there he was, standing a half-meter from me, this person. He was about 20 years old, very white skin, like pale, dressed all in black, very thin, almost like malnourished. His face was serious, with strong green eyes with cat irises. He had cat eyes and gave off a very strong smell of sex combined with smoke. It was a smell of strange sex that somehow filled me with a lot of lust, but at the same time with hatred. A deep and irrational hatred for life in general. This, in addition to scaring me, somehow made me know that that person was actually a demon manifested in person. His presence was absolutely supernatural. He felt horribly mesmerizing. I dodged that thing, and he stared at me, and then smiled at me, and so I saw that his teeth were rotten, black, dirty, and somewhat broken. All this, with the red light of the place, gave him a very macabre appearance. Then seconds later, that thing quickly disappeared in front of my eyes. Suddenly, it was no longer there. I don't know if it was a succubus or some other kind of evil spirit, but it was definitely a bad thing.